Welcome to Discovering. There's a lot of great reasons to get outdoors in the fall, and grouse hunting is certainly one of them. I tagged along with Eric Straczynski from the Mid-UP chapter of the Rough Grouse Society for a day of hunting in one of the UP's grouse enhanced management sites.
Grouse is the extremely hard bird for a dog to master.
Sit back and relax. That's all tonight right here on Discovering.
The secret streams that flow beneath the cliffs of colored stone. Forest thick and healthy with birch and pine and oak. Surrounded by the greatest lakes this world has ever known. The black bear's awesome presence as he roams the hills and fields. Call of the timber wolf, the loon's lonesome trill. The eagle soaring high above, the trout lies deep and still. These are what I treasure, the only way I measure feelings that I have for this fine land. There is so much to discover when you're a long-time lover of northern Michigan.
Yeah, right now we're at the GEMS trail that the Mid-UP chapter Rough Grouse Society sponsors. We've done a lot of our habitat work on this trail in particular. And right now we're gonna take Dozer out and go see if we can find some birds. With him, if we get into some birds with him, he'll hold point for usually as long as it takes to get there. Well, that one got away. That gets him moving at 11 years old though. Dozer, he's just running around, smelling everything he can, and he's looking for bird scent. Once he finds scent, I guess depending on how strong it is, he'll either trail it or if he thinks that bird is right there, he'll go on point. Dozer, when he goes on point, the beeper starts going off. It's time for me to get in there as quick as possible. I don't know what he's doing here. I think I got that bird, but you can see the quicker you get there, the less chance you have of that bird running out on the dog and having to try to pin it down again. Sometimes they just run out right away. Dozer, come here. And then the dog will have to try to follow it, pin it down again and point it. The more the birds move, the harder it is. And that's why they say grouse is the king of all game birds. It's an extremely hard bird for a dog to master. Most of the time it's just all scent related. Every once in a while you'll see a bird right in front of the dog, or not far in front of the dog. Woodcock especially, it'll literally be right under their nose sometimes. But yeah, it's mainly all scent related. Not too often do you see the bird in front of the dog. At least not me anyways. Another field that we planted apple trees and crab apple trees with the Mid-UP chapter, the Rough Grouse Society. The 3 apple trees in the back corner were with 2 other chapters from Lower Michigan too. We did these last fall. And the crab apples we did this last spring. They really like the crab apples in the fall too for a food source. Apple trees benefit everything. They'll help rough grouse, they'll help deer, pretty much any of the wild game. You know, either eat the apples or the buds off of the trees. Putting all the collars on her. Aspen has an extra collar. She gets one around her waist too. It's her wool collar. She's trained to stop with a little shock to her belly with that collar. I'm trying to get her to hold better on birds this year.
Younger dog?
Yeah, she is 4. And then this is the GPS collar. This is, these are a lifesaver. Whether you got a young dog that likes to run, an old dog that can't find you, they're just a good insurance policy. And then the last one is the beeper collar and the bell. So the bell, so you can hear the dog where they're at all the time, and then when the bell stops, you know that they're, you know, on scent, getting birdie. And then you listen for the beeper. The beeper will start beeping after they're stopped for a few seconds. Okay. If you hear that beeper start to go off, I'll do what I can to get her to stay there. But a lot of times we don't have too much time to get to her because she'll go on point for, 5-10 seconds, and then she'll, whatever reason, I don't know what it is, but she takes off. That's one thing, she's good at finding them. Hey, up here. It's just not easy to get shots with her. Both of mine I've had them since they were puppies. She's not hunting right now. She's trying to flush that bird. Dozer I got in college knowing not a thing about bird dogs other than the fact that I wanted one. Trained him myself, really trial and error, and it turned out great. Aspen is from a breeder downstate. Trained her for the most part myself too, and I've had a different experience with her. She's a lot more challenge. I've had some friends and some other people help out too with her, so haven't done it all on my own, but the majority of it. And there goes a bird. Aspen, come! Yeah, these are some mountain ash trees that we planted 2 years ago now. You get them from the conservation district, and they're only probably about 12 inches tall at the time that we get them. So that you can see this one's doing pretty good. The rest of them look like they're all still alive, but haven't grown as much. Mountain ash, it produces a berry, so that one's good for all your small game. I believe deer like it too. You see a lot of mountain ash like around towns. It's a nice decorative tree too. It gets that nice orange berry on it. There's a bunch more cherry trees that we have planted right over here. Probably somewhere around 3,000 trees in this particular gems, the trail that our chapter sponsors. Once these start producing fruit, it'll be good for pretty much everything. Thought I just heard one. Maybe not. might have just been her. Well, we just had 2 birds flush right at the truck as soon as I got out, so hopefully that's a good sign in this spot. Get Dozer ready to put him back on the ground. Dozer, where's them bird? All these trees were planted by the DNR. Well, the Rough Grouse Society and MUCC helped plant them too. But this was a DNR project. Right now we are hunting a little different than we did this morning. We're hunting field edges. So just, as you can see, it's kind of a mixture of everything here. You got mature hardwoods bordered by young aspen, and there's young thickets all around too. Just lots of diversity. I guess the best thing I ever heard was grouse are like morel mushrooms. They are where you find them. So everybody's kind of got their own different ways of hunting them, and this is one of my favorite things to do a little later in the season is hunt field edges. Dozer, come on. Well, that one I'm sure I missed. Sometimes they'll hop up off the ground just a couple feet to get away from the dog. A lot of times in the later season, there'll be woodcock along the edges too. A point. Been pointing from quite a ways away. Hey, did I get that bird? Dozer, come here. Dozer, come. Dozer, come. He didn't even chew it up too bad either. This is one of the reasons why I love hunting with a dog so much. I didn't think in a million years I got that bird, and we heard the beeper collar go off, and Dozer, sure enough, had the bird over here, right in the direction I shot, and he of course won't come back here. He's back out to hunting already. But yeah, one of the great things about having a dog is you definitely recover birds that you probably never would before. That's the second one today we would have had a hard time getting without a dog. Like I said, I didn't think I hit it. And we got another point. Hey, come here. Come here. Hey, come here. Oh, you're full of burrs. We have our chapter, and then we have the committee members, and the committee members basically run everything, decide everything, and there's, I think, around 6 of us that are active committee members that do all that. That's people from Gwynn, Marquette, Harvey, as far as Engadine. So we got guys from all over the UP that come to our banquets, and then we even got some guys from the eastern end that help out and are really active with it. There are other chapters in the UP. There's one on the eastern end, and there is also one, I believe, out of Iron Mountain, and I think one on the western end. They were trying to start one in Escanaba, but I don't think that it ended up happening. There used to be a chapter in Marquette, and the chapter kind of dissolved. It's hard to get volunteers to run these kind of organizations, and so there was a group of us that were interested in starting it back up, and 5 years ago we started it back up, and we've had a banquet every year since then. We've done at least one habitat project every year since then. Aspen, come! For me, I guess I kind of got into grouse hunting and gave everything else up in the fall to a point, mainly because of the dogs. I started with Dozer, and just from there, it's just addicting. Watching the dog do what they're supposed to do, figure it out. Coming out and hunting is just a added part of it, you know. If I get a bird, great. If not, it doesn't even matter. Look how happy the dog is, you know. That's what they live to do, and they only get to do it for 2.5, 3 months out of the year, so got to make the fall the most of it.
I guess one of the reasons I got involved with Rough Grouse Society is that there was so much energy and the youth involved in all of our hunting experiences. One of the problems we've got in Upper Michigan and the country in general is the aging of the hunter. But rough grouse is one of those great equalizing species that kids can hunt, adults can hunt, people that are really too old to hunt can still hunt them if they're, you know, able. There's so many methods that are great. And one of the things I hunt for is just to work my dog. I mean, shooting a grouse is a bonus, and based on this year, it's been a real bonus because I haven't shot very many. It's been tough hunting, but I think one thing about us Yooper grouse hunters is that we don't give up and we hunt anyway. If there were no grouse, we'd still be out here running the dog because that's what we owe to these dogs. You'd think there'd be some woodcock or something in here. You know, the Rough Grouse Society is local and it's national in scope, so that's really kind of a nice thing. Hey, you can tell it's warm. He's already pooping out. Our banquet is just a great time. We have circular tables, there's a lot of discussion, it's a big social event. Hunt them up. Some young boy or girl is going to leave with a really quality shotgun because somebody wins one every single year, and it's something that will always happen. I mean, it's the best banquet of its size, I think, in Upper Michigan. Even though, and that's some tough competition. There's some really great banquets in Upper Michigan, all working for the same community goal.
Our main purpose is to have a group that's focused strictly on just helping rough grouse and woodcock habitat. and it's also there to try to promote hunting just in general, and also to get youth involved, because if we don't get youth involved, you know, our generation will be the last one to hunt, and the less amount of hunters we have, the harder it is for us to get anything done.
Shoot. Got him. Way to go, Eric. Yeah, it went in the middle of that stuff. Come here, Maul. Dead bird. Hunt him up, Maul. Come on, bring it here. Oh, she stopped. She's on it. Good girl. She might be a little rough on him. She hasn't had any birds this year.
Girl.
I think one of our challenges as hunters and as aging hunters, as you know, we're all getting to be, is, you know, keeping hunting relevant to the youth of this new generation. I mean, they have a whole different set of circumstances than we grew up with. We hunted and fished because we didn't have anything else to do. Come here, Maul. Good girl. No, my gosh, if I had a cell phone like that when I was 10 years old, I'm not sure I would have become a hunter. You know, there's a lot of competition. So, you know, it's got to be relevant. The non-hunting public have to understand why we're doing this, and that it's a sustainable resource, and that we're doing all we can. I think one of the things our local chapter has done is we've spent an awful lot of time, effort, and money in cooperation with the Michigan DNR to make these gem sites so they're accessible to the public, and there's some birds on them too. I mean, we've planted thousands of fruit-bearing shrubs in the last 3 years. It's been a great experience. Well, we're walking in way too warm weather on one of the GEMS project trails, which is one of the main functions of our banquet, is we raise money to help plant and make the habitat a little better on GEMS. So, well, unfortunately, it's so warm, the dog's already frazzled out, but our banquet's coming up January 20th. It's a really great banquet. It's kind of real personal and close. There will be 175 people there. We got a great sponsorship program. Entry level starts at about $60 and goes all the way up as high as you'd like to go. We hope to see you there. She was following that one.
Well, that's it for this week. Be sure to check out 906outdoors.com, where you'll find the 906 fishing report, TV6 weather, shopping, and more. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next week right here on Upper Michigan's very own Discovering.